Hey everyone, Felix from Nintendo Life here, and today we're going to be looking at my top 5 Switch games of 2023. Now, there were so many great games to choose from that it was actually kind of hard to settle on the last 5. Now, they will be in no particular order, and I won't be alone to talk about these games. I also have the wonderful, the Alex.
It's the Alex.
So nice to have you here, Alex, but you're not the only the person who's here, because we also have the Sion.
Hey, it's me.
Wow. I don't think I've heard that Sion before, but I mean, it's the Sion, so I don't know.
I would love some monster movie style sketches of us now, looking like the Felix. As postcards or something, but that's derailing the video before it even started.
Yeah, so this is gonna be a look at my, favorite games of this year on the Switch, but there's one thing we do need to make clear, and Alex, take it away.
Yes, in order to make sure that we had 3 unique videos and that there was no overlap between them, we have had a third party in the form of the lovely Jim make sure that each list is unique. As a result, naturally, there was some crossover that needed to be changed. So just because a game doesn't feature on our personal list, it doesn't mean that it wasn't one of our top 5 if it appeared on one of the others. So consider it more our collective top 15 between the 3 of us. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you, Alex, because, today we'll be looking at my top 5, tomorrow we'll be looking at Sion's top 5, and the day after, it'll be Alex's top 5, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. But without further ado, let's jump into the top 5 Switch games 2023 Felix edition. And the first game on the list is a game that I completely forgot came out this year. Yeah, It's Octopath Traveler 2.
Yay!
That was this year?
That was this year. This was in February, so it is a long time ago. But I was still, of course, this has to go on the list. This game is just simply one of the best RPGs I've ever played. The combats are very fun, the environments are gorgeous. I love the characters, with Patricio being my personal favorite, and actually Temenos might rival that. But yeah, there's just so much to love about this game, and I think my favorite thing might actually be the music. Oh,
I'm still reeling. I'm like, really? That was this year?
It is weird. This year, it's just so full of great games, and it makes it really hard to play them all. So I'm glad, Felix, that you got to slap this one on your list. Because even at the Game Awards, I know that a lot of people felt that Octopath Traveler 2 got snubbed, and I still have so much to play of it.
Yeah.
At least the music nomination. I've been listening to the soundtrack a lot. I just really enjoyed my experience with this. You now have crossed paths where 2 characters will have a kind of quest together, and it's really nice to see this interactability with the characters, because in the first one they were all just kind of traveling together but with their own, separate stories, and this just, helps immerse that it is actually a band of 8 people traveling together. And another thing that wasn't in the first game that's in this one is a full day and night system, and you can toggle this with a button, and it's so incredibly cool. It looks gorgeous, and it just, these sceneries that would look maybe very static in the first one just looks so much more alive in this one.
Well, I've heard so much praise for the game, I wouldn't, question it for a moment. But yeah, I mean, anyone who's a long-time viewer of the channel knows that I'm not the biggest RPG fan. I like a few here and there, but overall, there are fewer RPGs than other genres that I really get into. I liked them more when I was younger, but yeah. Also, I don't like the HD 2D. I'm sorry, I don't like the HD 2D. I know that other people love it, and that's wonderful. I cannot express how much that is excellent, but it just ain't for me. I'm sorry.
That's totally all right, and that's
I'm
why
sorry
this
to
game,
be a downer.
That's why this game is on my list, because I absolutely adore it. And the funny thing is, I absolutely adored Octopath Traveler's 1's art style. Now, they were the first to really do this, but going back and comparing this Octopath Traveler 2 to Octopath Traveler 1, it is insane how much better Octopath Traveler 2 looks. The first one, there's these weird, I don't know, they hadn't quite figured out, in the battle sections where the camera was moving, there was some weird jagged edges with with the characters. But
after some time with like that being like kind of like the first HD 2D game, Octopath Traveler 1 was kind of like the test bed for that, you know.
Exactly.
And I've played a decent chunk of Octopath Traveler 2 and loved what I have. So thanks for giving me a good excuse to dive back in.
I actually didn't know you played Traveler 2, so that's awesome. Glad you tried it out. But yeah, that was the first game on the list, Octopath Traveler 2. Now the next couple of games are games that I hope you guys remember, otherwise I'll be a bit concerned. But the next one is a game that came out fairly recently, and it's a big one. It's Super Mario RPG.
What's that? I've not heard of that one. It must be because it's an RPG.
It's actually because it didn't release in your region, Alex.
No, that's a solid choice.
Yeah, I had never played the original. I was very fortunate to adapt Alana's wonderful review into video, and thus I had to record gameplay and all that stuff. And yeah, I just couldn't put the game down. I played it from start to finish. Absolutely wonderful game. Brilliant remake. All the way they turned the assets into 3D, all the charm is still there. It just looks absolutely gorgeous now.
I'm really hoping I get it at the time of recording. My birthday's coming up in a few days, and I'm hoping that somebody will get it for me. I have asked a particular person, so fingers crossed, eh?
We're all pulling for you, Alex. I ended up like spurring and just like went out to the store and ended up buying it and played it like a couple weekends in a row. I don't know how I made the time to play it. And I just wrapped it up like a week or two ago, I think.
Yay!
And totally, Felix, this one, I'm so glad you have on your list, because if it probably would have been on mine as well. It's such a weird and fun game, but just the sheer importance of the fact that it even exists. Kind of like Mother 3, Super Mario RPG was like a running joke for a lot of people for a while. And a remake at that just like felt like it would never happen. And there were always people asking
I mean, it
for
took everyone by surprise when it got announced that.
It really did, yeah.
It was really, really a big shock. And I was just really happy that I finally got to experience this game, because yeah, it's really a fantastic experience from start to finish. You have all these unique characters, brilliant jokes all the times here and there, and just really fun gameplay. You have the normal, battling systems, but then sometimes they switch it up with a bit of platforming or a mini game, and these mini games are not just the same mini game over and over. And I cannot recommend this game enough, and I'm really glad that you also played along, Sion. We could be chatting about this game for a very long time.
I think it was like the moment-to-moment gameplay. So the worlds are so different, and I think it was the fact that they're constantly changing stuff up for you, right?
Always something.
And it goes by so quick for an RPG too. I mean, so I'm really excited for Alex to get it.
This one was shorter than the original. It's only like 15 hours, which is
How is it so much shorter? I thought it was a really like a really true remake.
Well, I think the battles feel faster. I will say, yeah.
Everything is a bit faster. It loads a bit faster. So I just think,
the same amount of content, but just brisker.
Exactly the same amount of content.
Okay, that's all right. For a moment, I was like, what? Did they like miss out a chapter or something?
Because you have like stuff like splash damage, so you can damage all the enemies at once if you time it, and you can switch out party members. So it's not often that you find yourself dying. It is a bit easy experience, but I'll definitely take the shorter run time, because 15 hours, that much is happening. That is absolutely incredible. But the third game on my list is a game that is not 15 hours long. It is much, much longer. It is a game that was, it was on older hardware, and they finally brought it to the Switch. It's
Suika game.
No. Oh, that should have been on my list. No, it's Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, nice. I'd forgotten that this came out this year. Like, if you'd asked me, did it come out this year? I would have gone, yes, obviously. But this year was so busy.
And this is not even that long ago. This is 3 months, but that just shows that 2023 is just a belter. So I had played Red Dead Redemption 2 on my Xbox, and I had an absolutely fantastic time with it. I just got totally engrossed in this cowboy world, and it was really interesting because I didn't know that the second one was a prequel to the first game. So when I booted up this game on the Switch, and it runs really well. I know it's an old game, but it just runs smooth. There's no problems whatsoever. And it was just really fun seeing a lot of the characters that were in the second game, but you see them later now because it's the first game, and it's like all the dots start connecting why certain characters had to die in the second one. Of course they had to because they're not in the first one, and it's just the first one holds up really, really well. Of course, the graphics are a bit dated, but really, really can recommend this one.
This sounds like one of those rare instances too, where you were almost like rewarded for playing the second game first.
Yeah, it's almost
sounds like a strange thing.
Yeah, it's like doing it the wrong way, but it still goes completely swell. It's like watching Better Call Saul before watching Breaking Bad. I don't know how well that experience is. But
that sounds crazy, but I see what you mean.
And there's loads of lovable characters and also unlovable characters in this game that weren't in the second one. And it is a much more, it takes place, it's much more westerny, if that makes sense. The first one it has like, it just feels like it's up more north. I mean, the second one has all sorts of stuff, and you even have the Red Dead ones, most of the map in Red Dead 2, but most of the game doesn't take place there. So it's like this one really feels like, oh, this is like a real Western.
Can I just shock you?
Yes.
I think Red Dead Redemption 1 is better than 2, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. The first one it's a really, really good game, and that's why it's on this list.
I don't know. I don't know whether it's just because when I played 2, I wasn't like in the right mind frame. I had less time or what. But I have far fonder memories of the first game. Even before going into like the Undead Nightmare, I never played Undead Nightmare. I only ever played the base game, and then when I got to 2, it just didn't capture that same magic for me, and I couldn't tell you why. Maybe it's the constant campsite. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I love 1. I love Red Dead 1.
Good, because I do too. So, but
good.
And I've not played a lick of Red Dead.
I mean, Sion, you should probably get. I personally prefer 2, but that's just because it's so pretty. The most pretty game I've ever played. I think it's.
It is a damn pretty game. Yeah, I can't argue that.
I mean, the story is just absolutely fabulous. But we're not here to talk about Red Dead 2. We're here to talk about Red Dead 1. Or we did already talk about Red Dead 1. So let's talk about the 4th game on this list. It is an indie game by a developer here in Denmark. It is Cocoon.
Oh yeah. I played that recently. You go ahead. It's your video.
Oh, hell yeah. I didn't know you played this. But so this game is a really unique puzzler game. So you have these orbs, but you travel into the orbs, and you can take these orbs into other orbs, and there's all sorts of puzzles surrounding that. It's really, really creative, and there's some parts where you really have to stop and think, wait, how do you solve this again? But if you just keep at it, eventually you will solve them, and that's the amazing thing about a good puzzler, is that they are hard, but you don't really get stuck.
I mean, yeah, one of the most incredible things about it is the only text is in the menu. Yeah. There is no text in the game. It is all just environmental cues and things like that. It is beautifully well done. And
what an environmental game it is. The soundtrack is I mean, it's not very memorable, but it's environmental. It helps set the mood because you have to experience to know what I'm talking about. Now, it does need to be said that on Switch, it does run a bit worse than on other consoles, and I was sometimes thinking, man, I wish it was running a bit better, but the overall gameplay and all that stuff is untouched, and it still plays really good. And I had a fantastic experience with it. I mean, it's on this list. But it's not a very long game. Pretty short game, and that's really nice.
Was this developed by one of the people that made Limbo?
Yes,
Inside,
Limbo
or
and Inside.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm not completely sure on the story, but I think it was one of the developers went and made his own thing, and then they made, this game. But Alex, you played this, you said. I really want to hear what you think.
I thought it was great. It absolutely there's a part late into the game, I don't want to get into too many details, where you said that you take an orb inside an orb. There are times when there's actually a gateway where you don't need to go into the orb. You just have a gateway so you can take an orb inside itself.
Yeah, it's really trippy.
I was just like, but I'm walking around with this orb and I put it down. It's like, what's it going to be? What's it going to do? And I jump into it. I just jump into it. And I'm exactly where I was. And I'm like, I don't like this, but in the best way.
Yeah, so go play Cocoon. It's an amazing experience that not many people, well, there's people talking about it, but not enough people are talking about it. So yeah, it's not go check that out. And now you've made it to the last game on this list. And it's a game that came out for NSO. It's F-Zero 99.
Oh, to be fair, you went mental on that when it first came out. I saw you getting first place like every 4 seconds.
Yeah, how did you get so good?
I don't know. Something just clicked. It was like, I've played Mario Kart my entire life, and then F-Zero, there was like a learning curve at first because I had not played any F-Zero games, but suddenly...
But Felix, this is an old game. Old people should be good at it.
But there was just something so thrilling about the whole new system, about like getting these sparks and getting on the giant like highway in the sky. And I just found, because there's 4 different race cars, and I just I found one that just worked really well for me. And it was just about finding the exact time to use your energy, use your boosts, try to hit other enemies. And I think in total I got 19 first places, which I'm really proud of, because later I started struggling because people got really good. But those first few weeks I was playing this non-stop, and those cups were really, really special because you can't play them all the time. So it was like almost an event when they happened every 2 hours in the weekend. It was a bit more often. I think it was every half hour or something. But then in the wait for those main cups, there's also mini Grand Prix. And it's just a really, really nice gameplay loop. Unfortunately, not as many people are playing it right now, but also waiting for the content drops with the new cups. And just, you were playing around on these initial tracks, and suddenly there was even more tracks, which was there. I really started to struggle a bit because the tracks are really, really, really hard. And I wasn't...
Oh, they can get tough, can't they?
They really can. And I wasn't playing the game as much, so I think I fell off a bit. But absolutely fantastic racing game. I don't play a lot of online games, but this was one that I really, really enjoyed. And Nintendo, you did an awesome time on the execution.
Well, I'm glad you got to be there with this one from the start, because, now like Super Mario 35 and Pac-Man 99 just aren't around to play anymore. At least I know Super Mario 35 isn't. I think Pac-Man isn't anymore either.
I think they've already dropped it. I could be wrong, but it's because they were bringing out their own version of it, basically.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you're totally right.
It's a little bit shameless, to be honest.
And I'd like to think that like Nintendo would leave F-Zero 99 on Nintendo Switch Online for people to play for a long time, since it's their own IP and stuff, but like you never know. So people should take your recommendation and go play the game like while they can, though, just in case.
It was definitely the kind of game that I don't think it'll ever reach the hype of when it first came out, but it was just so magical that so many people were playing this, and you just went into a lobby and 99 it was just filled out completely. And it's also just the 99 game that I feel does it the best. I've tried a bit of Tetris. I played a lot of Pac-Man 99 actually, but this one it just made so much sense. It was like, yes, this is what F-Zero should be, and it's so fun. Just such a fun game. Can't recommend it enough.
I'm glad that F-Zero lives on to see another day.
Just about, yeah.
yeah, just barely. When I saw the visuals for this, I wasn't like, is this the angle? But it's not always about the look of the game necessarily.
I feel it actually looks pretty all right, because it's not just the old game with a lot of cards. They've updated the sprites, and if you actually look side by side with the original, it's actually quite substantial how much better this one looks. They've also had to, adjust all the tracks and all that, and I just think, this is a good way to go, and hopefully they saw how much people were playing it, at least in the start, and they will actually bring out a proper F-Zero game. Now, I don't know why I hadn't played any F-Zero games before. Maybe it was because they don't actually release them anymore, but
I was gonna say that.
But I feel that I actually enjoyed maybe more than Mario Kart, just because it's skill and you don't have all the items flying around. It's actually just who's the best at driving those carts and practicing. I feel like I can practice a lot in Mario Kart, but at the end of the day, it's also about how lucky I get. And especially online, I feel like sometimes you just drive and then you get you drive into an invisible green shell or something, because there's a bit of lag, where I felt with F-Zero 99, it didn't feel that way. It didn't feel like we were just, even though Mario Kart is very stable, there's a lot of like suddenly you get hit by something or someone gets hit by you where it wasn't supposed to happen if we were playing like properly, but because, of latency and all that, it just ruins the experience a bit for me. Where, I'm just really excited to play more F-Zero and hopefully we get a new entry very, very soon. But you know what we'll also get a new entry in is these top 5 videos series, because tomorrow Sion will also be doing one, and Alex. Not tomorrow, the day after.
Yeah, so you're watching this on the 26th. Either that or you're late. On the 27th, Xion will be gracing us with his top 5. And on the 28th, it's my turn. Ooh.
Hey!
So thank you guys for sitting here with me and, just chatting about these amazing games. Of course, there were games that I really wanted to talk about, but I know you guys also had them on those lists. So I'll get to spill all my beans when you guys mention them.
Well, I look forward to the beans spilling.
Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, why don't you race, jump into, or shoot, or jump 100 times, or pick your this turned out way longer. Just click that subscribe button. God damn it. And don't forget to check out our website, nintendoLife.com, where you can find reviews for all these games in written form. All right, stay safe, play some of these amazing games, or just play whatever you want. I mean, it's up to you, and we'll see you in the next one. Felix, Alex, and Sion from Nintendo Life, out.